Hello, hello, hello. Guys, let me tell you, you want to talk about a challenge in a challenge? Today was a challenge, but it's okay because guess what? I am here, live, I am present, and I am accountable, right? I am accountable to you. I just want to thank you guys so much for being on, coming on, viewing us. I'm telling you, this is day 11. Now, I knew that I was going to run into a problem when I got to day 11 because I only had 10 fingers, right? And I love to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was exciting to get to day number 10. But guess what? When I got to day number 11, I decided, okay, well, I'm just going to say it, right? Day 11 of our 30-day challenge, SOAR's Transformational Coaching and Empowerment Institute. Count me in. 30-day challenge. And I want to just let you guys know that I am so excited that you've decided to join me in my challenge. You have encouraged me. I've had an opportunity to speak with some of you specifically about what your challenge is and just kind of to get a little bit of feedback on how it's going. As you can see today, my background is a little bit different because I'm coming to you guys from home. But guess what? It doesn't matter where we are. When we make a commitment, when we have determined in our heart and our mind that we're going to be consistent and we're going to take the courage and we're going to do what we want to do or what we need to do, whether we are afraid or not, right? We make the commitment to do it. So I committed to be with you guys today. I think I would. Normally I would be love to say hey guys, what time is it? Right? It must be 6 p.m. I didn't make it on until 6:01, but guess what? I'm still here. I want to first of all just find out from you guys, how was your weekend? Because I don't know about you, but my weekend was awesome. I had a phenomenal weekend. I did the same thing that's a part of our challenge that I asked you guys to do, which to take 45 minutes to an hour to look back on your previous week. And in our cases, those of us that started on day 1, look back on the previous 2 weeks. And then identify those things that you did well. Remember, that's our weekend portion of the challenge. 45 minutes to an hour. What did I do well? And then celebrate those wins. Did you celebrate your wins, right? Did you celebrate them? Because that's a part of the challenge. The challenge actually is literally having the courage to celebrate your win, even if it's not exactly what you decided that you were going to do. Remember, we decided we were going to set a standard for our challenge, and then we were going to set a goal. So though you may not have met the goal, if you met the standard, the minimum standard, those are grounds for celebration. So I hope that you took this weekend to find a way to celebrate your win, whether it was big or small, because remember, we decided that a small win is still a win. I had an awesome time on Friday night, which was the last time I came before you for worship and just being in the presence of God with SOAR Ministries. And then I had an awesome time on Sunday, which was our family and friends day. And some of my family members came out and they just, not only were they blessed, but I was blessed because I got to see them. So for those of you that came out, that you're either part of my family or you're one of my friends, guess what? Thank you for coming. Now, those of you that didn't make it, hey, we missed you this Sunday, but next fourth Sunday and every fourth Sunday will be Family and Friends Day at SOAR Worship Ministries. So even though you missed this last Sunday, don't worry about it. We got another one coming. And if you want to get with us before then, guess what? We're at church every Sunday, 11:30. We kick off worship, 11:45, 11:50, we'll open up Facebook, and we're just entering it to the presence of God. But I want you guys to know that I had a phenomenal weekend, and I hope that you did the same. Now, did you celebrate your win? Did you identify what you did well? Did you take a few minutes in that 45 minutes to an hour to decide what could you have improved on? Areas for improvement. And then you decided that you're going to plan this week. And guess what? Today's Monday, the beginning of this week. So those things that you could have done well, you should have put them on the schedule for this week. Because after this week, those things that you could have done well, guess what? They're going to go on the things that I did well for next week. So don't beat yourself over the head if you did not do every single thing that you committed to do in your goal. Do not be discouraged. Stay the course. And remember, these habits, we did not form them overnight. And they're not going to go away overnight. We're going to take small bites. And we're going to make sure that we're doing something in the direction of our challenge to move us in the area of what? Positive, permanent self-discipline. That's all that this challenge is really about. It's about creating positive, permanent self-disciplines. Because once you create that particular area, once you create a positive, permanent self-discipline, that's the foundation that you're establishing. Once you establish that foundation, guess what? You can build on it. So we're really just building foundation right now. So don't worry about the house. You haven't put the walls up yet. You haven't put the ceiling up yet, right? You haven't broken and divided the rooms off into specific rooms. We're not ready to start deciding this is a living room. This is all that's in your blueprint. But right now we're just building the foundation of positive, permanent self-discipline. And we know that positive, permanent self-discipline is first based on you making a decision. That you make the decision. I'm not talking about you just casually say what you want to do, but you make the decision of what you are absolutely going to do, because you know that on the other side of that thing is your destiny. On the other side of that thing that you decide on is your greatness. On the other side of it is your success. On the other side of it is your purpose. So it is so very important that you understand why we're taking our time to build the foundation of positive, permanent self-discipline. Keep in mind, we're just building the foundation now. We're in week 3 of a 6-week challenge that is going to be broken down over a 30-day period. And by the time we get to it, if you take the tools that I'm giving you and you use them, because guess what, guys? I'm taking the tools that I'm giving you and I'm using them. And I can see my foundation is being built. I see my foundation is being established. I see commitment coming forth out of me. I see consistency coming forth out of me. I see courage coming forth out of me. So it doesn't really matter. I don't want you to be discouraged. I know that a lot of times what happens is that we look for the fruit. But I need you to understand right now it's happening underground. Roots are being built. Roots are being established. Foundation is underground on every home or every building, no matter how tall that building is, no matter how wide it is. It must have a foundation that will hold what is placed on top of it. So our positive, permanent self-discipline is the foundation that we're using in order to build our house, to build that business, to build that ministry, to build that personal goal, to build that professional goal, to build that relationship goal. All we're doing is setting the foundation. So be encouraged, okay? So I've discussed what I wanted to make sure you guys are doing what you needed to do for the weekend. And then, of course, I'd never, ever, ever want to come before you and not leave you with a nugget. So one of my friends, one of my really, really good friends, Tabitha, and most of you know her because she was with us last week for our Wednesday Connector, right? And she brought us information on self-love and self-care, right? She gave us information on that. And I'm still feasting on that. But there's something that she does, and I thought about it earlier. And what it is that she has this part of her programming. And for those of you that don't know her, you can reach her at My Sister's Keeper 8695 on Facebook. I'm telling you, it's all about women, inspiring women, empowering women, provoking women into their greatness. And if you ever want to just be encouraged by another woman, as a woman, then I want you to make sure that you look her up on Facebook. It's My Sister's Keeper 8695. But anyway, so she have this thing that she says is called, I Was Just Thinking. And so guess what happened this morning? I'm going to go ahead and borrow this from my sister. I'm sure she'll be okay with it. And I see her watching me now. So if she's not okay with it, she'll send me a comment, But I was just thinking, man, guess what? Why are we still struggling? What's going on? Are we self-sabotaging? Are we allowing fear to prevent us from moving forward. Remember a couple weeks ago on one of the videos, we talked about fear, and we talked about how it camouflages itself, how it wears all these different masks. We won't call it fear, because if we call it fear, then we'll think that we're kind of wimpy, right? But guess what? Fear have a way of camouflaging itself in other ways. And so what I want you guys to do is make sure that it is not fear. Make sure that you're not procrastinating because you're afraid that if you move forward, you might actually succeed. Or you're afraid that if you move forward, you may fail. When we decided that failure is only going to be failure when you decide to quit, when you give up, when you decide you cannot do it. Because if you think you can, you're right. And if you think that you can't, you are still right. So I want you to decide, which one of these are you going to commit to today? Are you going to think that you can and be right? Or are you going to think that you can't and still be right? That's your decision. So today I was just thinking, one of the things that I wanted to really deal with is, and I wanted to share this with you because this is a part of my personal testimony. One of my deepest fear turned out to be one of the most important factors in my life. And that was being open to criticism. I've always been afraid to be criticized. I've always been afraid for someone to correct a behavior or an action that I've taken. I always internalized but I always internalized constructive criticism. If someone would criticize my action, I would personalize it and I would internalize it, and I began to feel like they would really just saying that to hurt my feelings. But the reality of it, that was my biggest fear, but it also became the most powerful tool that I could have ever opened myself up to by simply facing that fear. And so what I want to tell you guys is that whatever your deepest fear is, it's only because that fear is a lie. Remember, a fear is false evidence appearing real. Whatever your deepest fear is, that is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. And so I want you to identify, what is your biggest fear? It may not be criticism. It may not be that. It may be that you've given up because you're tired of trying and you've dieted and you cut back and you bought the right foods and you joined the gym and you put yourself in a position where you can be successful in a weight loss or a health goal, and somewhere down the line you didn't see the results that you wanted to see. Even if you thought you saw the results, nobody else recognized it and acknowledged it. And because of that, you gave up and you stopped and you say, I'm just not going to try it again. Why did you decide not to try it again? Because you were afraid that you would fail again. But what I said a few weeks ago, what if you don't fail this time? What if you succeed? But if you never try, if you give up, you're right. You've already failed. One of the other ones could be relationship goal, right? I stay on that. And the reason for it is because more and more people are afraid to enter into relationships, into a relationship with a partner, business partner, life partner as it relates to marriage and family, friendship. All of these are partnerships, right? But we're afraid because the last few times that we've given our all to these areas, they backfired on us and it didn't work out. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about me also. And so what do? We put the wall up and we decide, I'm just not going to do it again, because guess what? I don't want to fail again. But what if it actually worked this time? What if you actually connect to the right business partner? What if you actually, God sends you that right mate, that husband or that wife? That is your soulmate. But you've already put the wall up. And so they can't get to you and you can't get to them. What if this is the time that you're actually going to succeed, but you've given up? Failure is only when you quit. So that's a false fear, right? You cannot fail if you continue to try, because all you do is you learn what not to do, or you learn another way to do what you're doing. So stay the course. Failure is only going to be failure when you quit, when you give up, when you decide that it's just not going to work. And guess what? You just failed. So I was just literally thinking how powerful the fact that, especially when I started this challenge, one of the things that I did is I opened myself up to you guys, that you would give me feedback, constructive feedback. Not just I was great, and I was beautiful, and, my hair is fly. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, although, y'all could bring it on because, the truth is just the truth, right? But I'm talking about feedback that's going to help me to be better. Help me to know that, this is what I would like for you to do. Like what you're saying is helping me, but what you said the other day, it really did help me. Share that information with me, because guess what? That's me facing my greatest fear. And that's you helping me to overcome it, because what I did is I flipped that thing and I decided that criticism is not to be you being hard on me or mean to me or trying to hurt my feelings, because guess what? I'm the only one that can manage my feelings. I'm the only one that can decide if what you say to me is going to hurt me or not. And because I'm open to the criticisms, I decided that it's not going to hurt, it's going to help. And so you guys have been helping me. You are my accountability partner. Okay, so that's one of the things. Next thing, I want to ask you a question. Nobody knows the answer to this question but you. You don't even have to tell me, but be honest with yourself. Are you really committed to your challenge? Are you really committed to your challenge? I know you said you were going to do it. I know you typed in the comment, count me in. I saw it. I run into a few of you. Hey, how's the challenge going? But my question to you is, are you really committed to your challenge? And the only way you're going to be committed to your challenge is that you're going to have a very clear, laser beam focus of what your challenge is. Now, if your challenge is all over the place and you don't have a specific target, you can be assured that you'll never hit it. Because if there is no target, you can throw the dart, you can turn around, you can close your eyes, you can put a mask over your face, you can do whatever you want. If there is no target, no matter where the dart lands, it will not land at your challenge or your goal. So let's take a few moments before we get into this week. Identify your challenge. If you have not totally committed to it, commit. If you committed and got discouraged, recommit. See, that's why we have time to work this thing. And then when you recommit or commit truly for the first time, then you go back and you start working on permanent, positive self-disciplines in the area of your challenge and your challenge alone. Pick one thing that you want to get on the other side of as it relates to fear, procrastination, just second guessing. If it's a business, if it's a ministry, regardless of what it is, pick one thing. We still have 4 weeks, guys. You still have time to get on top of that thing and get on the other side of it. But if you have not lasered in on specifically what your challenge is, then you cannot prepare. You cannot prepare. And then once you make the decision, then I want you to decide what you need to do in order to make that challenge realized. This is a journey. It is a journey that we're on. The habit did not build overnight. It will not go away overnight. But what will happen is that you are going to get to the end of your goal one step at a time. But once again, if you have not lasered in on specifically what your challenge is, I know exactly what my challenge is. My challenge is to show up on Facebook, live, prepared, unprepared, whatever the case may be. But my first challenge was to show up. And I have committed to that. I've been consistent with that. And I faced my fear, and I'm going to do it anyway. So that's what I want you to do. The first thing that we want to do, because today's Monday, I'll have more content for you guys this week, because I've been working on some stuff. But I don't want to just throw a lot of stuff at you and just come out and just reach it, throw some stuff at you when we're not getting the foundation established. We can't start building the house until we get the foundations established. Identify your challenge. Commit for the first time if you haven't already. Recommit if you have and got discouraged along the way. Because we're going to start building toward the end of this week. We're going up with some walls, some structure toward the end of this week. And I can't leave you behind still without the foundation established. Take the time and identify your challenge. Identify it. One thing. Are you worth correcting one thing in your life that is hindering you? Are you worthy of correcting one area in your life that is hindering you and preventing you from walking into your greatness? Find that one thing. Laser in on that thing. This was my thing. I've told you guys, 2017. 2007, it's 2021 and a half. We're almost in 2022. I have been struggling with this one area. What's your one thing? It may not even be this, but everyone have a one thing. Find your one thing that you know is preventing you from moving to your next stage and releasing the seed of greatness from you. Because guess what happens with a seed? If a seed is nurtured properly, if a seed is attended to properly, there is a harvest on the other side of that seed. What's preventing you from being able to move into your next stage of greatness? Let that become your challenge. And then once you do that, you go into your 7-layer deep why. Ask yourself 7 times, why is that going to be your challenge? Once you identify your why, then you're ready to get going. Because every time you get, when you get to the point you don't want to continue, you're going to remember why. You're going to remember why. And not only are you going to remember why, but you're also going to remember who. Because when you get to your why 7 layers deep, there is somebody else connected to your why. It is no longer going to be about you. There's someone else that is waiting for your greatness to come forth. There's someone else waiting you to get healthy and whole so that you can live a long and productive life because they love you and you love them. There is someone that is waiting for you to be their life partner so that you both can go and just do life together and just enjoy it. There is someone that is waiting for you to move forward into your greatness. And guess who that main person is? That person is you, because you have purpose in your life. So if you cannot do it for just you, by the time you get to 6 or 7 layers in that why, you're going to have other people that are going to automatically become a part of that why. And so you're going to remember that. So I'm about to close because I respect your time. I honor your time. I thank you guys so much for joining me every day, whether you're in the immediate live or if you're in the replay. Then guess what? I thank you so much for viewing us. Now, I do want to ask you to do a couple of things. I want you to comment. I want you to start putting some comments in because I get so many numbers on our views, but I don't know who's watching. And it's not really that important other than the fact that I just want to send you a personal thank you. So what I'd like for you to do is, one, if this video has been a help to you, I want you to share it. Share it with your family and your friends. If it's been a benefit to you. Now, if it hasn't been, don't do it. Because if it hasn't helped you, guess what? You're not going to be able to send it forward. But if you think that it has been a help to you, share it. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to like it because that's letting me know that you really appreciate what I'm doing. And then the last thing I want you to do on the video is I want you to put some type of a comment in. Let me know something, even if it's something that you want to tell me. You want, hey, Jackie, look, I mean, don't get me wrong, girl. That was some good stuff, but you was talking too fast. I've been trying to work on that. Y'all saw how I changed it right then? I need you guys to help me because for some reason, I went from being so shy and didn't want to speak at all to, man, when I say it, I just got to push it out there so that I can hurry up and say it. Now I'm trying to pull it in and just kind of level it off. But I do need your criticism. I need your feedback. I need you to help me to become better. I need you to help me to become great. And I make that same commitment to you if you would allow me to do so. All right. So keep in mind, focus on your challenge, decide, determine your why, make a commitment, create consistency. And when you get to the point where fear tries to show up through procrastination, call it fear, face it, and do it anyway. When fear tries to come up with you doing something else instead of what you're supposed to be doing, see, it's still fear, right? Face the fear and do it anyway. When the fear of failure try to raise up in you and tell you, I've been trying to do this over and over and over, and it will not, it didn't work the last time. What makes you think it's going to work this time? Face that fear and do it anyway, right? When the fear of you being successful and concerned that when this happens to you, you don't know how you're going to respond. You don't know how your family's going to react. You don't know how other people are going to embrace you. Face that fear and do it anyway. Those are our foundations, right? Those are the foundations. And tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you guys, and I normally don't give you an advance notice of what we're going to talk about, but this is once again me being accountable. I'm going to talk to you about the power of thinking. The power of thinking. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he or she. We're going to talk tomorrow about the power of thinking. Are we sabotaging our success because we are thinking wrong? If I don't like the results that I'm getting, is it because I'm not thinking about my situation in the right way? Am I putting more thought into not succeeding? Hence, that's what I got. Or am I putting my thought into this is too hard? I don't have enough time. Remember, we don't manage time. We manage activity. And everybody gets the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. How are you managing your activity in the same time that everyone else is getting? I'm going to sign off now. I want to thank you guys so much for coming in, for sharing with me, for joining me on my challenge. And today my challenge was a challenge. Not because it was a challenge in me getting to you, but it was a challenge in me getting to you by 6 p.m. But I had my accountability partner. We were on the phone. Jackie is 5:15. Whoa, Jackie is 5:30. I think the last time I got was 5:41. I probably got a text on my phone at 6 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. I don't know if it was her or not. But let someone be accountable to someone. Let somebody hold your feet to the fire. It's okay, because those are the people that love you. Those are the people that really want to see you to succeed. Have an awesome evening, and it is my prayer that I have said something to you today that have informed you, that have inspired you, has motivated you, that has even pushed you in the space and area of your transformation. Because ultimately, that's what we're doing right now. We're working on transforming a situation that was a problem, an issue, or a concern into the space of victory. I almost knocked my tripod over. Y'all saw that, huh? But that's some reflex, right? Nobody wants to buy a new tripod and a new phone because the one they got failed. Guys, have an awesome, awesome evening. Now, if this is your first time looking at this and joining this challenge, don't worry about the 2 weeks that have passed. I'll stay with you. You start today. You still have 30 days. You still have it over a 6-week period. Go back, look at our previous videos, type in Count Me In. And now I want you to, this is what I want you to do, because we're 2 weeks in. Don't just type in Count Me In for those that are you. Count me in, because my challenge is. And let's see what your challenge is. Tell the world what your challenge is. No more secret challenges for those that are on our 3 weeks in. You see, I let you keep it private week 1. You kept it private week 2. We're in week 3. Tell the world that in 6 weeks, I'm going to be great at this. And guess what? They're going to be looking, but that's all right, because you're going to give them something to see. You guys have an awesome, blessed evening. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow at 6